Good morning on this beautiful, almost fall day out here in the Nevada desert. So today's goal is to go look at an area called Beryl Springs. This road supposedly goes all the way down to the petroglyph site down at Largo Messino, but I've been told that as you get down into here, it's an expert rider, to say the least, type of route, and probably way beyond my skills. But it's a beautiful desert day out here, and I thought, you know what, let's go take a look and see what we can find. As you can see, it's not maintained, drive at your own risk, etc., etc., which is kind of funny out here. So I'm pretty sure that's 99% of Nevada, so I'm not sure why they posted this sign out here. But beautiful sage country. The sage is blooming. I don't know if it shows up in the camera here, but it's getting little tiny yellow flowers all over it. The allergies are going crazy, but that's okay, because I'll definitely put up with it for a day like today. It's the type of days I wish I had 365 days a year. But out here, you got some great the junipers growing and a lot of cheatgrass. Been some wild horses out here, so maybe we'll run into some more. Usually, though, they're so friendly that they kind of wipe out the whole wild concept. But we'll go take a look. So thanks for coming along. Let's go see what we can find. It's basically a big basalt plateau out here. So when you look around, it's fairly flat. There's some bigger mountains to our right that rise way up. You can't really make it out too much from down in the hole here, but they create a big barrier between here and Highway 50 over in the Silver Spring stagecoach area. But this area is relatively flat, and so you got homes and little mini ranches and everything scattered around in here. The roads are kind of a mess, even though I said travel at your own risk. I know these guys try to at least maintain their place a little bit, but we had a whole lot of rain over about a 2-week period. And I was looking into this little flash flood channel on our left, and it's all washed with brand new exposure. So definitely had a lot of water flowing. Not sure how it's going to affect the road further down, but it'll be fun to go take a look. So according to my map, this is technically Long Valley / Beryl Springs Road. And you can definitely see why it's called Long Valley as you go through here. And it's just a long, continuing, flat area between the little hills. Got basalt flows on either side. Of course, riding right into the sun, just like every other morning. It seems like I always head east, always right into it. But like I said, for a warm day this late in September, I'm not going to complain a bit. This is great. Dropping down into the pinyon pines now. A little bit wetter slope over here, kind of facing north a bit, so you get a lot more pinyon and juniper growing. The road just continues to wander along, and so far it's not as bad as I was expecting. Oops, just passed a dead squirrel. Poor squirrel. What's the odds of getting hit on this road? But anyway, other than being really bouncy from the recent rains, it's not that bad, so let's hope it continues on this way. There's roads wandering off to the sides all over the place down in here. No idea where any of them go. Probably to private property, but they're just so random. You'll just be going along, just on the road is taking off through the pinyon. Pretty crazy. People with too much time on their hands and a nice bulldozer, I guess. Yeah, this has definitely all been recently bladed. They must have had a heck of a lot of water coming down here. You see all the brand new bulldozer work. So somewhere down here must be some more homes hidden away in the trees. Don't know why else they'd be repairing this road. Well, I think we made it to Bain Springs, or Beryl Springs. I keep saying Bain Springs, which is another spring up here. This is Beryl Springs, I'm pretty sure. So you can see all the cottonwoods in front of me there, and I see foundations. I don't know the whole history behind here. I know there was a ghost town type thing here. And you can see, we'll go take a look at the rocks here for a minute. Some of the old foundation work. Yeah, so here we go. Here's Beryl Springs. So here's the rocks, just reach those, and it looks like it's just a cattle holding area. You know, most of the history's been lost in this area over the years, so I'm not really sure what exactly we're looking at, but cattle pen would make sense. You know, it could have, there's just no way this was a building. Maybe it was to keep cattle out of a cabin or something. We got rabbit brush blooming down here. The bane of my existence this time of year because of all the pollen it generates. But a little bit of a breeze blowing. I don't know if it's picking up. Lots of spider webs reflecting in the sun here. Still a beautiful morning. So let's see what else we can find down here. Yeah, more of the rock walls. So I would definitely say that at some point this was a cattle holding area for sure. I don't think there would be any other reason at all to build it. Yeah, lots of rabbit brush. So much pollen. It's pretty though. Let's see if there's water in the creek. Oh yeah, yeah. Definitely got a spring here. Let's walk over real quick, take a look at it since we're here. I think I was here as a kid many years ago, but let's go see what we can see. My squeaky Liat boots. Wild horses have definitely eaten everything down. Oh yeah, look at this. He even had somebody build a concrete thing over there. It looks like a camping park. That is absolutely awesome. Yeah, probably was a fireplace or something. Nice and flat over there. I don't think you'd want to drink this water though. But it is got a little bit of movement to it. So the spring is right there in front of us. Pretty cool. Yeah, there we go. Some kind of willow trees. Got all the giant cottonwoods around here. Totally awesome. I can't believe I've never been down here since I was a kid. Wow, very cool. Okay, well, back to the T-dub, if I don't trip over all these broken branches, and we'll see what else we can see. So I actually found the spring here at Beryl Springs. You can see it flowing right out of the basalt here. Kind of interesting. It's not very usual to find a spring in the middle of a valley randomly coming out of the desert, but there you go. And over here we got some graves I was going to go take a look at. I have no idea what they're for, but hopefully there'll be some writing on them. Thought I'd go take a look at that. A few minutes ago, every bird around was busy squawking at me, but it got really quiet here all of a sudden. No idea why. And here's the camp area down below me there. You can see the T-dub. Just absolutely beautiful. No, not the T-dub. Well, the T-dub's beautiful too, but the campsite. Got other springs coming in here too. So let's go see what we can see at these graves. So it says Rick Road, 1197, and Betty Road, 1 of 98. So I don't know if this is her final resting place or just a memorial. It reminds me of a Western movie almost. Giant cottonwood trees kind of protecting the grave site here. A little breeze. So, going to head back to the T-Dub now, taking a look at this beautiful Beryl Springs area. So, go see what else we can find back here. But it's quiet, just the sound of the wind going through the cottonwoods here. Yep. Well, I'm sure there's more to go find and explore, so let's go see what we can do. So there's more than one spring out here also. As I'm riding around, I'm finding things like this. Pretty awesome. Lots of water for middle of the desert. Now the one thing that does drive me crazy out here, and this is typical of Nevada, so you get things like this, or you've got a tree and they've literally shot it to the point that the whole tree is eventually going to collapse. Absolutely no reason for it. You know, all these guys do is get us legitimate target shooters blocked out of these areas because they're wrecking everything. Still makes me wonder what was running around out here in the 1800s. You know, I know there's of course ranchers and freight hauling and everything else, but with all this water, I can imagine there had to have been quite a lot of human, you know, type, what am I trying to say here? Humans living in the area. There we go. Of course, now we got these guys. Hey guys. Hello there. Moo. Yes. Oh, and guys with big horns. I'm not going to mess with them. Oh, look. And we got another spring. Hey, that one's flowing good. Nice. Okay, now I just have to figure out how to get across. Oh, there we go. Well, one thing I was not expecting today was a large, muddy water crossing where I see where a bike went across, so I'm going to give it a shot here. Oh. Holy crap, that was deep. Well, I now have very, very wet, disgusting, muddy boots on that one. Oh boy. Oh, that was way worse than I expected. Yeah, that was almost up to the side of the tank for a quick, brief second there. Oh man. Well, we made it. T-Dub did not fail me. Also, remember, if you have a TW200, make sure you do the vent line modification. So you have one vent line going down, and then you put a T so there's one going up. Because if you go through water like that with your vent line only going down without the T on it, it's going to suck up water, immediately block, and that'll kill your engine. It'll just shut it down. Won't hurt the engine, but it'll quit running. So just something to remember. The other amazing thing about the creeks out here is we just crossed the one that had the water in it just a few minutes ago. It's already completely dried up. It's not even, I mean, there's no sign of flow. So all that water, and it just disappears in short order. It's absolutely crazy. But so far, this road's just a beautiful, fun little double track going through the desert and pinyon pine and junipers. Definitely can't complain about this. Although I'm pretty sure after crossing that water, my feet are going to smell like cow manure. Absolutely amazing basalt canyon over there. The road doesn't go down it, so it must get really, really narrow. Probably pinches out, but yeah, pretty cool looking. So I'm just going to go see what's around this corner. I'm pretty much out of time, but thought, well, let's see how bad the climb is out of here. And it's what I expected, completely washed out. It actually isn't that bad. You know, this is something you can get up and down, no problem with a T-dub. It just bounces you a lot. It can get a little annoying. Definitely gives you a workout. But I know a lot of guys on the bigger, faster, better bikes will probably just tear through this. But for me, on the T-dub, you just inch across it, no problem at all. Beats you up a bit, but that's okay. So right now I'm looking out over where the petroglyph site is. It's quite a ways out there still, but you know, it's actually probably doable. I was looking at this road. I've just run out of time, and it's pretty much all small, round, river rocky little things going all the way down. Down below there is where I was told it was very difficult to ride from that point on. But honestly, looking at the road that I can see, I'm not even sure that that's the road, that I'm looking at the right road. So, but all around us, you know, we're basically following a power line road now, or have been for a while. So it's all pinyon, beautiful basalt cliffs across from us, and mud flow cliffs, which is another geological phenomena to discuss at some point, I guess. But it leaves these chunky rocks everywhere. So everything around me is mud flow rock. And it basically looks like little river rocks. But so what we're going to do now is just ride on back, try to get back across that water crossing without getting stuck, and head back to Reno. So let's go see how we do. Well, for better or for worse, the one thing that's been good about all this riding up behind my house here has been lots and lots of super rocky off-camber downhill training. And I know stuff like this before, I mean, even just a few months ago, it was giving me a virtual heart attack at times. Of course, here we got crossover, so it's a little bit slow. But now it just seems like it's par for course. Is that the word? I don't know. Or words. But yeah, this is so typical now. I've just got to the point it doesn't seem to even bother me anymore. Now the really quick dips and stuff where I've got loose stuff in the water washes slows me down a bit, but you know, it's okay. Of course, right now I'm on the wrong side. I went up the other, so I'm definitely going down through some bad stuff here. But you know, it's slow learning, but it's happening, so that's good. It's just getting time out. Even these few hours every weekend in the mornings, you know, getting out here before church and clocking out 2 or 3 hours of this stuff. It's making a huge difference in my riding ability. You know, my goal today is I want to go to T-Dub Fest at the end of this week. So I told myself, no matter what, just don't get hurt. Don't get hurt before or at T-Dub Fest, but yeah, definitely don't get hurt before. But boy, these rocks are bouncy. Oof. Whoops. I still mess up a lot though. But first gear is a miracle on this bike. Ooh, yeah. Well, back at the water crossing, and of course I mucked it all up, so now I have no idea where to cross on this. And I was looking, and there is no alternatives at all. I mean, I can do the right side through that grass, but I don't know if that's worse or not. And you know, I don't want to go crazy fast because it was about 2 feet deep on the right there. And so this is one of those, I guess I'm probably just going to end up either laying it down or putting my feet down. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was not a problem. Yeah, I had to stay on the opposite side. Little did I know. Oops. And it looks like everybody else is going this way, so we'll do the same rather than go back up the rut again. But woo, yeah. Well, as we continue back up into Long Valley here through the Pinyon and the Juniper, it's not anything too exciting from this point on. So I'm just going to go ahead and thank you all for joining me on this ride to Beryl Springs and the grave sites I found there. And, you know, just for coming along through some beautiful Nevada country here. I hope you're all having a great week, and hope you're getting some time, if you're a rider, that you're getting out there and getting some time on the bike. But thank you again so much for listening to me. I'll talk about the area and for tuning in to Ridgetop Dual Sport. So you all take care now.